Ephraim Smiley here, the hunger relief farmer from northeast Indiana. Uh, the indoor growing season, at least for getting your transplants and things, is winding down. And we're near the middle of April. And so I've got my squash going, cucumbers, and I'm gonna plant more. What we have is an intensive hunger relief effort, at least it's gonna be intensive this year. So we're gonna plant, we're going to have seedlings growing. I'm gonna make a cold frame, and we'll have seedlings coming, going, harvesting continuously. But I was just over at the garden yesterday, and took my Troy-Bilt tiller out, and we tilled up a section for my collard greens. I've caught some collard sets, and I'm going to set those out. And so we're going to have an early garden, and then we're going to have a late early garden, and then we're going to have a spring early summer garden. And so that'll be comprised of lettuce, kale, collards, spinach, and Swiss chard. We'll be growing those kinds of vegetables. May even grow some bok choy. So, so I'm hoping to feed a lot of people here early with the early spring vegetables. But we're making a big attempt to feed as many as we can, unemployed, underemployed, laid off, single parent families, seniors, disabled vets. So this plants that I have in front of me are only going to be a part of the equation because the plant nurseries give me plants, give me sets. So this will be part of the equation. I've got maybe 500 tomatoes, got close to 500 pepper plants, and probably will have 1,000 or more squash plants before I'm done planting them. Once I get to planting, it seems like I enjoy planting, and then as spring moves forward, I enjoy putting them outside and letting them thrive when we harden them off. But I guess I need to let the viewing public a little bit about myself, so they'll know who we are and where we're from. I'm the great grandson of sharecroppers from Alabama. They were homesteaders and lived out in the middle of the woods there off the grid. So that's where I got my organic element from. I'm an organic grower for 35 years. And then what I've done in Fort Wayne here, we had a garden service for like 15 years, Smiley's Garden Service, the organic guys, and we delivered compost, we delivered manure, different kinds of manures. I'm not proud of it, but they called me the entrepreneur of manure on Channel 15, and but that's a noble cause to haul compost and manure and leaves and straw and try to help people build their garden up in a natural way, and that's what I did. So I've had therapeutic gardens at a mental health center where I worked. I've had in-classroom gardens for the school system where I've worked, and we've had senior citizen gardens, and we've had community gardens. We've had the Hunger Relief Garden for about 10 years, and currently we're at Fellowship Missionary Church, and they've given us to use for the community about 17 acres. We use a little Alice Chalmers B. We've got a Ford 2600, and we use an Oliver 1755. That's our power equipment. So we're well equipped, and we plan on really digging in and really showing the community what we're worth here this year. We're going to really dig in. We're going to plant, replant, we're going to push it. But the garden is a member of the Sustainable Indiana Hall of Fame, and it's been in that Hall of Fame for about 4 years now. It's on the website. Yeah, that's a Fellowship, Ephraim Smiley Fellowship Garden, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we've won numerous local awards and been presented with lots of different kinds of certificates and such. So we are well known. The garden is well known in Fort Wayne and surrounding area, and I just consider ourselves just poor Alabama dirt farmers farming in Indiana. That's how I put it. So we're here to serve. It's a service project, and wouldn't have been able to do it without the members of the Fellowship Church, the leadership, the congregation. Yeah. Mike Colbert is the engine and tractor and fabricator and repairer. Then I've got Warren Crawfis. Warren Crawfis, it was the tractor driver. He's 80 years old. He's finally decided he's going to retire. In fact, Warren is, I think, 81 or 82. But Warren is a tough hombre, and he helped drive that Oliver. That was his baby, and he kept it running, and we appreciate Warren. And then John Jarris is Mike Colbert's right-hand person, and those guys do a lot of fabrication. Richard Smith, welder by trade, has done a lot of welding, and when Richard does a job, it's, how can I say, it'll last forever. So I've got, another person, I forgot somebody, Darlene Strack. She donated a tractor to us. And so we've got a deep, how can I say, resource pool. And we've got people who support us. And, some of them wonder how in the heck we do it sometimes. Now, last year was not a good year for us. I had to do some babysitting and other jobs around the house. But this year, the babies are 1 year older. Their dad will be here with them. And I'm going to rock and roll in that garden. We're going to start out quick. We're going to grow an acre of green beans. I'm going to plant corn, about an acre of corn. But I'm going to do a double crop. I'm going to plant my peas and maybe even some pole green beans on those corn stalks, and we'll have a double crop in that corn. So I got a lot of ideas, and they're all natural. We're natural growers, so we're using compost, we're using leaves, we're using, we're going to start with ProMix for in our planting hole for the tomatoes, and we're going to use mycorrhiza. We're going to use some liquid fertilizer. I'll use fish emulsion 511 as a transplant fertilizer. So I've kind of got it all laid out. I'm kind of really ready to rock and roll, and I'm just praying and hoping that the weather here in Indiana is good so that we can get this established. This will be a community garden like they've not seen before. Flowers and the whole works, but I'm going to step in and I'm going to grow, and we're going to grow and grow and grow, hopefully, for the community to help with this pandemic, with this situation that's evolved. And so like I said, the vegetables that you see in front of me are only the tip of the iceberg, and I think I've got maybe 1,500, 2,000 plants here, but and growing, but like I said, this is only part of it. And we're going to get donations, and we're going to plant every inch of that 17 acres. I'm already moving stuff out of the way. We've got stuff everywhere, it seems, and I'm moving it out of the grassy area, and we're going to plant the grassy areas. We're not going to, I got 10-foot wide strips of grass where we just kind of let it go wild, and I'm not going to do that this year. We're going to plow it here in the next couple of days as soon as it gets dry enough. We're going to run the plow through it and cultivate it and and till it, and prepare as much ground as we can, as soon as we can, for this early spring garden, and then looking forward to the green beans and corn and other vegetables that we grow. So we give most of it away. 80% of what we grow, we give away. We do sell purple hull peas and crowder peas, southern cuisine. Well, actually, purple hull pea is a world pea. It's not. It has very little to do with the southern United States. It's grown all around the world. But that's my message here today. Ephraim Smiley, the urban farmer, Fort Wayne, Indiana, the hunger relief guy, signing off and wishing you the best and happy gardening.